Hello again from wonderful Florida in the Port St. Lucie area. Today, I'm going to be giving you all the fresh realizations, learnings I have had on this most recent project. This is the biggest film I have ever worked on to date. We just wrapped 55 days of production, and it is with none other than Mr. C-Bum, Chris Bumstead himself. If you're not familiar with Chris, then you're not one of his 25 million Instagram followers. Chris is an incredible athlete. He is this generation's Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he's more than just a bodybuilder. Chris has an incredible story about how he's gotten to the top of the fitness world. And what's been most interesting about this project is that Chris has allowed us in on some of his therapy sessions and kind of the emotions and all the interesting aspects that you don't necessarily typically hear from people in the bodybuilding industry. Today, what I wanted to do was talk about that project and everything that I've been, well, I couldn't talk about everything, but the most important things that I've learned on this project, because in my filmmaking journey, I'm just constantly learning. It's just every project, I feel like I'm back at film school. So I wanted to give that to you today, fresh off my brain as we're wrapping this project. So let's talk about that today. And on the topic of mistakes that we make in filmmaking, we've actually created a PDF for the top editing mistakes. These are the top mistakes that we've made in the past and that we see a lot of the filmmakers in the AOD community making. So you can download that PDF for free. We put a link below. You can click it and it'll get sent directly to your inbox. First tip. I'm back here in Canada because I actually watched this video and totally forgot about this. And that's, I learned how to mic plant on this film. I actually hid a mic in Courtney's purse and the audio was amazing.
Mic plant,
yeah,
boom.
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 There you go.
Right in the bag, baby.
Why was I putting it in her purse? Well, sometimes you can't get a mic on someone and you have to put it somewhere. Sometimes people put it on the hat. And in this case, we put it in the purse because her dress was tight and you would have seen the mic, would have seen the cord, and especially you would have seen that mic pack sticking out the back. So we hid it inside her purse, ran the cable through the eyelet and stickied the mic to the back of the purse and put a Rycoat cover over it, and it sounded amazing. Learn how to mic plant, because sometimes you can't get a mic on someone. And for me in documentary, it's unacceptable to see mics 99% of the time. Whew, this is so sketchy. I have forgotten my Gorilla Pod. My next point, your camera package on a long form project, it matters. The camera you choose absolutely matters. Because when I started this project, I thought this is huge. Chris is an incredible athlete. We have access to 7 years of archival footage, thanks to one of our AOD students, Calvin, who's been working with Chris all this time and who approached us for this film. But this project was big, so I felt like I needed to shoot big. I thought I had to have an Alexa LF with anamorphic lenses, and that's where I was starting. But very quickly meeting Chris, I realized that was the wrong decision. When you're trying to make a documentary, having big cameras reminds people that you're making a film, and this doesn't make for the most intimate moments. Some of the best scenes in this film were just me and Chris and my FX6, and in some cases just the FX3 camera. So when choosing your camera package, choose the smallest camera that you can and the best audio setup. And this is what you're always hearing me saying, but less gear will make for a bigger story. Another gear thing, I think the FX6 I've realized on this project, it truly is the best documentary camera, just from the fact that we could have 4 channels of audio in at all times. It feels like every filmmaker out there happens to have one in their closet, and it's been so easy to work with and travel with. It breaks down so tiny. I think the Red camera's image is great, but traveling with that and working with audio on a Red camera, it's not my thing. I think some of the other camera systems are just a little bit too pro, and I love my FX3, but man, I hate having that tiny little screen, and I hate not having internal ND. To me, if you're gonna be working on a long form documentary project, the FX6 is the perfect camera. By the way, this, Chris has been nice enough to lend me his 2022 M5 for some parts of the shoot, and it is by far the fastest car I have ever driven. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of power. I should not be allowed to have that. Third point, just get good at audio. Please practice your audio. If you can, hire a professional sound person. But what was happening for us on this project is when we had the boom mic and all the sound packs and extra people in the room, it was just interrupting the intimacy and the experience for the film. And I would say this, make your subject learn audio as well. The first thing I did whenever I arrived on set is I would say hi to Chris, we'd talk for a bit, and I would add a mic pack to him. I would immediately say, hey, we gotta add this to you. We get the sticky out, I put the mic on his shirt, put the mic in his back pocket, whether it was him or his wife. But then we wouldn't record for a bit. I'll just get them forgetting that we put on a mic. And then eventually we'd pick up our camera. Never go without a lav mic. As much as you can, get that lav on the people. My next point. This is gonna be a little more of a philosophical one, but this was one of my biggest learnings on this project. And that's when the filming sucks, this doesn't mean that your film sucks. And what I'm trying to say is sometimes while you're filming, people are in a tough point in their life and the filming isn't as fun. You know, you can't shoot as much as you want, or in the case of Chris, he just wasn't as available as we always needed him to be, even though he made a ton of time for us. But what I was realizing is his training is very challenging, and the mental health battle of being the Mr. Olympia isn't easy. And when I started to realize that this is actually part of the story, is Chris's struggles. Chris trying to win this championship, be a good husband, be a good father, be a good business partner and friend to everyone around him, was something that he was actually going through. If it's challenging, that's actually part of the story. And it's a good indication that everyone is doing something worthwhile, because it actually is a challenge and it isn't easy.
Do you know what we really need? We all need to go get a Slurpee. You can't take the picture, but we need like a flash pic of us sitting on the curb of 7-Eleven just with a Slurpee. That's a vibe. What's the trophy?
Hello, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of the AOD filmmakers who came out on this film. It was incredible. We got to hire AOD filmmakers in every country, every continent, from sound to BTS to camera operating. It was great working with you. And speaking of AOD, we've heard your thoughts and we are now leaving the doors open permanently, at least for the time being. You can join AOD any day of the week. And we are gonna be having a crazy Black Friday sale, the best sales we've ever had. It's been fun getting to work with all of you, help develop your films, help fund them, help get them out into the world, and especially having you work on ours as well. It's been very collaborative and so fun. So if you want to know more about AOD, you can head to theartofdocumentary.com. It's our academy. It's a place for you to grow as a filmmaker and make the best documentaries of your life and learn more about that. We have 5 courses with over 350 videos and a thriving community. But thank you. It was so fun working with all of you. And my last point, and I'll save the full breakdown of this shoot for another video, but I kind of learned to save the cinematic stuff till the end. The story needs to be the most important part of all your filming. And that doesn't mean that it always has to be the most beautiful or cinematic. And I kind of wanted that from the get-go. Having a full crew, full lighting package, Alexa's, Ronan's out, that's not a comfortable way for anyone to start. Nor do you have the flow or the familiarity with your crew or your subject. So if you're gonna try to do all the cool, fun, cinematic stuff, save it till the end. Start with the easy stuff. Start with just little moments in your characters' lives that they're already doing. Maybe it's them and their wife going for a walk around the park. This is what we did with Chris. And finally, the last shoot we did just 2 days ago was the full cinematic shoot. We got the Alexa out finally and got to have a real fun time with it. So there's no rush to get to the cinematic stuff. Do plan for it, add it to the schedule, but be at peace that your story is the most important part of your film. Awesome. Appreciate you guys sticking through to this one. I hope it was a helpful one. I'll be doing lots more breakdowns. Leave any questions about this CBum film below. I'll be talking more about it. There's lots to break down, lots to unpack. I appreciate you guys. I hate goodbyes, but you know what? I love Florida. I really do. I don't mind the humidity, and I love the restaurant Just Salads. If you guys want to sponsor me, I will take no money. I will just take your wraps the rest of my life. You're the most delicious in the world. All right. Love you guys. See you in the next one.